who abused her, what she did, the names of the people, the relationships between the people, and where they did it. And she also knows there were other children present. But Mr. Alex Salmond can't help. Why is that? Has he got something to hide? Has he? That's Alex. That's a wet fish. It's the best I can do. Right, I'm going to go through this quickly. Great man overseas gave me help with some of the statistics. Lots of characteristics of what's happening, a template. This man says, and I back it up, don't go near social services. The moment you go near them, terrible thing to say, you are opening your children up to risk. I say that unhesitatingly. Now, this is interesting because there's a brilliant Dutch lady called Rolie Post. She used to work for the EU. She was sent to Romania. Do you remember all the pictures the BBC showed us? Terrible orphanages. Well, when she got to Romania, she found some of those existed. But she found most of them were trying to do the best job with very few facilities and not a lot of money. She was employed to watch the system. She realised that people were operating in Romania who wanted the children to be put up for adoption. Strange agencies, charities. 3 of them she watched in particular, until she came to the conclusion they were child trafficking, supported by European Union money. So she went to the European Union to say, hey, what have I discovered? And then, boy, did her life become unpleasant, till eventually she was suspended on full pay. She runs a blog spot, she has written this book, and in it she says what is being put together across Europe are child trafficking networks, and this is being done from the highest political level. Your child comes up for adoption in Kirkcaldy, and that child is taken and given to parents in Sicily. That's what they're planning. What's going on? You're being attacked. I'm being attacked. Frankfurt School, if you've never heard of it, go and research it. Creeping socialism, attacking society. These guys were studying how to break society down. They weren't doing that for fun, and somebody was paying them. It's subversion. In my military textbooks, you had the guns and bombs and bullets and torpedoes and nuclear depth bombs and a few other interesting things. And then you have socio-economic warfare. And that's what these people are doing to us. Early document from the Nazi Party, think about the Bilderbergers, think about Ed Balls, written in 1942. One Europe. One currency, one transport system. Industry to be stripped out of Great Britain. I went on the internet before I came here, typed in Scotland, because I thought I'd better learn something. And do you know what I found? Decline of fishing industry, decline of farming, decline of industry, decline of shipbuilding. It's been stripped out. It's not because you are not capable. I say you because I'm an Englishman. But they're doing the same to us, because under the EU plan, Britain is to be shut down, and that is why they are asset stripping, and Gordon Brown is leading it. He's down the road. Other documents tell us how they're going to do it. Yeah, this is all about mental health. It wasn't talking about making you healthy, it was talking about bringing you down. This was a plan produced in a book, a very deep analytical book by a guy called Christopher Story. Areas of society, what's to be done to mess them up and what the result will be. Family, society, break up marriage. The law, make it inconsistent, victimise the victim. Politics, mistrust of your politicians. Isn't that happening? It's because it's a plan. And we are now here where they are actually breaking up the physical structure of the country. Now, I've probably taken you to the bottom now. If you want to do something, it's so easy. All you've got to do is start talking to people, to friends. Initially, if you imagine people waking up, we were on the flat bit, and we just couldn't get people to listen. Now people are starting to listen, the banking trouble, the jobs going. To get rid of this monster, you've simply got to expose the plan. There are 40 million of us, there's a few hundred driving it. Okay? Fabians, you need to learn about. Good old Tony Blair was chairman, creeping socialism. There's a picture, lovely. Oswald Mosley, why have I put that in? Because that's fascist. Well, fascism's based on Marx. But here's an adoring comment by a Labour politician. Foot. There is no left and right. This is a blooming con. It's all based on a Marxist route. And if anybody wants to debate that with me, I'll do it afterwards. This book tells you about it. I recommend it. It's heavy reading. You probably need to read it twice. Once the book, the second time the references. This is what's happening. I hate giving this talk in some ways because I watch the faces, and if I'm getting through, I see all the faces go down. But we're adults. We are being destroyed. Everything is being taken apart. If it's being destroyed, there's a plan. I've shown you a bit of the plan, and I've shown you one of the most dangerous organisations driving the subversion, which is Common Purpose. As soon as the website's up, you can go on it, research for yourselves, and then get on the internet, and you'll now find thousands of people talking about what we've put forward. Okay? There's a monster out there. It's beginning to eat us. But if we can wake other people up, we can do something about it. And that would be brilliant. Can't do it for Christmas. But if we really did go at it, we could do it by next Christmas. And something I'd like to ask your help in is by the end of the day, when you've heard all the speakers, reflect on it. And if you think these people are talking some sense and you'd like to help, we, the British Constitution Group, supported by some other speakers, would like to come and speak in Scotland in February. We're going to do Newcastle in January because of the stress of the steel mill going down. But we'd like to come north of the border again, and ideally we want 3 times the number. So if you can help us achieve that, we are regularly getting 500 people south of the border, and we are now getting politicians, police officers, doctors coming to us because they say, oh my goodness, you're right. Okay? We haven't got all the answers, but at least seeing the problem is part of it. Thanks very much.